Is this on? Okay, folks, it's Saul Rosenberg bringing you the crypto report tonight. Oh, look at that big red candle. It's just terrible. Oh, as soon as it touched down on the top of this trading channel that the Crypto Pro was talking about, it just dumped. Oh my goodness, like a big constipation that just got flushed down the toilet. Oh, look at those terrible, terrible red candles. What are we gonna do? I don't know. How far is it gonna go? Isn't it terrible that this happened right after they said that the market was supposed to boom with the BAKKT futures? I mean, we were supposed to moonshot all the way to 14,000, and some even said 16,000. And what happened here? Oh, it's just terrible. I was getting all excited with my money here because they said it was going to do this. Just explode to the moon. And then today I come home and oh, it just dumped. But, you know, this is not what Crypto said was going to happen, because him and Da Vinci said that we were going to go to the moon. And all of the other big hotshot, loudmouth YouTube jockeys, they said that we were going to go to $150,000. They even knew the exact date. Oh, and then, oh, we have this big dump that takes place. It's just... Okay, let's turn off the drawing here. Carlton Flowers, the Crypto Pro. Let's take off the crazy music. Let's go to something that's a little bit more upbeat and talk about what's happening in the market today. All right, so on a serious note, for real. In fact, let's jump to the blue line chart and talk about this, because for the last month, we have been listening to the yip yap from the Mooney weirdos, the degenerates, as Crypto Kirby calls them, trying to tell us that we were on the midst of a boom because we have a parallel trading triangle happening, you know, where here's the parallel triangle. And of course, they thought that we were going to boom right here. So I was in the minority telling everyone, be careful, because this is not a bullish sign, because we're not in a bull market. But the Moonies, the moon pie eaters, wanted to tell us all that the action since the April bump out of the low point is an indication of the bull market. Now, what I don't get is that ever since we've been in this seesaw trading zone here since the peak in July, that we're still in a bull market. Why is this a bull market? How can you tell me that this is a bull market when in fact it's a microcosm of what we already saw that happened post 2017 bull run? All right, well, let's zoom out and look at some of the evidence to see why it was so obvious to me and not so obvious to the Moonies. All right, let's see if we can zoom out here. Where's our controls? Let's go to 1 year chart. As a matter of fact, let's go to the 5 year. There we go. All right. Now, this is a lot more clear here. And I'll give you my reasoning why I never fell for it. This was a bull market, a big bull market. Okay, so fine, great. And then, of course, we had what everyone agreed was the bear market. I think it was after like the second peak here. This is when they agreed that it was a bear market. And so then this was supposed to be the beginning of the next bull market. And everybody said, oh, it's going to the moon after this point. And then we had the big capitulation. And since then, this area that we have been in here, this whole area here is a microcosm of this big formation right here. That's why I was not willing to call this a bull market, because when you're in a bull market, you have a formation that develops that takes you beyond the previous peak. Let's clear everything here. Now, this is probably not on a log scale. I don't know. But I know that your previous bull market you can't even see on here because it's dwarfed by this big monster right here. It could be right here, or maybe it was this little bump right there. So what makes you think that this was a bull market when we haven't even seen the previous peaks from 2017? I don't know. Stop the madness. All right, let's change up the music here. I've got a little bit of a music track for you, some pre-selected tunes to enhance the mood here as we troll the moon pie non-magicians who don't know how to call the market. Okay, now let's look at the overall and just look and see what everything else is looking like over on Coinbase. So here's the Coinbase charts. Whew, the percentages are ugly. Look at all this red. Bitcoin, of course, at 11% down, and they drug the whole market down. Now, everything is starting to get the little baby bump up, which is good. Let's look at Ethereum. Wow, the low point was $159. That's nuts. Jump out to the 1 week. Whoo, big capitulation. So everything is following the same capitulation pattern. Now, when we look at the 1 month, of course, we had this nice rise here that everyone was calling the, bull market. And they're saying, oh, this is it. Ethereum is about to break records. We're coming upon the next phase, Ethereum 2.0, and this is the cheapest you'll ever be able to get it. But when we look at the 1 year chart, what does that look like? What does this look like? What part of this chart says that we have cleared the bear market? So from here, hang on a second, let's clear that and go to the arrow from here all the way up. That's a nice trend. But after the peak, the overall trend is still downward. Even with this last little peak of a run there, the overall trend is downward. Why? Why, oh why do people want to call this the bull market? It's just dumb. All right, so let's turn off drawing and move on to the next one. Let's see here, Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin, wow, 56 bucks. Litecoin bottomed out. Litecoin is somewhat of a leading indicator, 55 bucks. So the fact that it is sitting at 56 right now tells me that we're going to go lower because Litecoin stays ahead of the curve. Notice how Ethereum already has had its little miniature bump back up, okay? So here's the low point, 159. We're already up in the 170s. Now, what's Litecoin doing? $56, and at the bottom point was just 55. Litecoin tends to bring everything else with it. It tends to trend ahead of Bitcoin even. So Alessio Rastani talks about Litecoin, and that's where I first discovered the usefulness of this price line because it has historically led the way for the rest of the market. So there's the 1 week, looking at the 1 month. Wow, check out the dive. And then the 1 year, of course, lets us know yet again, once again, it is just absolutely clear that this was not a bull market. Now, Litecoin, it had a rise all the way from November 2018 to May 2019. That's a longer run. So, I'll give people that. But this downward movement here is long enough that nobody had any business calling this a continuation of a bull market. Just dumb. All right, let's just jump on down the line really quickly and see how ugly the rest of the market is with some noteworthy coins. Taking a look at XRP, we're going to skip a few of the big ones. It jumped all the way down to 22 cents, 23 cents. I thought that XRP was not going to go below 25 cents. I thought that was the absolute bottom. I was wrong. It could still go a little bit lower. Look at this overall trend on the 1 week. Slightly descending baseline, which is not good. And then on the 1 month, this looked really good. I thought this was why we would not go below 25 cents because this is really a good looking base, but we violated that. Okay, so on the overall, we see that we are still, yes, definitely in a downtrend on XRP. XRP, I'm going to shoot a different video about that. It is possible that it could dumped down to 11 cents, but we'll get into that later. Stellar Lumens, it had such a run. I wish I had a little bit more of this, and I wish I could have like traded it, like month traded it. Look at this pump. Good Lord. Going from 5 cents up to 8.5, and then of course back down here to 5 cents again. Yikes. And away. What else was on here that just looked deliciously amazing? Ethereum Classic. Let's just jump out to the 1 month downtrend. 1 year. Woo. So it went from November 2018 all the way up to till July downtrend. So they're not done. You know, when you look at this 1 year chart, let's look at the whole thing. The bottom is not in. We could repeat all of this, and we'll look at that again when we go back to the Bitcoin chart, because the last time that the last bull run to bear market, we gave the majority of it back, the majority of it. So don't tell me that it's not possible that we could give all this back. Okay, Cardano. Oh, look at Cardano, just ugly, terrible. So 1 year, this has been an ugly chart for a long time. There's a lot of slop on this chart. I wouldn't trade this if my life depended on it, because it's just too ugly. The peak was at 9 cents. Oh man, just at 10 cents, and now we're back down. So 4 cents. Let's go back to the 24-hour. The bottom point was, of course, 3.6. Nasty. Okay, so moving right along, some of my former favorite coins that I used to trade on Binance before I dumped everything. Tron, I was a big bag holder of Tron, and this is a bag of crap right now. 0.0125 was the low. These aren't done. They're going to go lower. We're going to threaten this low point from 2018. It won't surprise me at all. Digibyte IOST, I love these projects, and they've got just the most disgusting dump of everything. Look at the low point, 0.045. Wow. 1 year chart. This was the best looking chart. I was so excited about IOST from November on, because it was just so predictable. We had all these little bull flags, you know, big spike and a little correction here, but it went right back to that baseline trend until we got here, and then the big dive. So this was the first big dip, and then as it started to come back up, I was like, okay, if we don't sustain this, I think we're back down into this overall downtrend. It was after this big dip that I was like, okay, clearly we are not in a bull market. This is a repeat of the rebound that we saw after 2017. All right, so red coin getting slammed. BitTorrent token is looking like hot garbage. Ken, I don't even know why they post this on the board. Look at that number. How ridiculous is that? Dent is taking another dent. Dent is one that it actually has a use case. It could go lower though. I don't know. It's shocking to see Dent, which has such a good project, and people are using it for the cell phones in Africa and Europe. And for it to be trading this low is like, wow, you know, that's the one that if you want to take a long shot and bet a little bit of money and try to get a 100 bagger, it's Dent. Now, 99% chance you're going to throw all that money away. But if you want to play the lottery, this is a better odds than playing the lottery. Bitcoin Diamond, I like this one just because it had a nice chart. But wow, 42 cents. I never saw that coming, because I didn't think it would ever go below the base of 59. Made a liar out of me. It's given most of this back. So I am not impressed by the overall chart. Look at that money, $84. It makes it look like a complete pump and dump scam when you look at the overall. But you never know. Something could happen in the next bull market. People say, oh, well, it has Bitcoin in the name, and diamonds are a girl's best friend. Yeah, so it's got to be good. Stupidity like that guarantees another pump and dump at least case scenario. Pardon me. So moving on down the line, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about on Coinbase? Not much. Let's jump over to TradingView. I want to talk about something. It's these futures thingies, which has been getting on my nerves for the past year. This gentleman on TradingView, who goes by the name of Mr. Renev, He's a very bearish individual, kind of very negative, but this post is hilarious. I loved it. He brings to light something that I've noticed and been talking about for quite some time, that every single time we get the big news stories of, oh, the halving, oh, the CME, oh, the ETFs are coming. Each time this happens, price takes a nosedive. So the last time this year, look at this. When we had the big capitulation in 2018, this was the ETFs, and we were supposed to go to the moon. And I was like, yeah, right. If ETFs comes out, that means that people can bet on Bitcoin going up, but they can also bet on it going down. And so if the people who are betting ETFs are whales and they can move the market, do you think that they're going to bet in the in the majority of people? No, they're not. They're going to do the opposite, because the majority of people get wrecked. So what did they do? They bet it to go down, and sure enough, it went down. So moving forward, the next one that he has indicated here is the BAKKT bull market. Now, all this time, all of the prognosticators, the YouTube Moon Jockeys, have been running their freaking yip yaps, talking about the BAKKT launch and how this is gonna shoot us to the freaking moon. And for all of my TradingView posts, go back and look at them all. Not once have I ever agreed with that. And I'm like, guys, if this is a 50-50 shot and we're in the midst of a bearish trend in the market, the BAKKT launch is going to do the opposite of what everybody says. So they were all like, oh yeah, we're going to the moon. This is it. 16,000. You know, we saw all of the Crypto Da Vinci videos, which, don't get me wrong, I like them, but I don't like the clickbait titles. And I don't like when they say, we're going to give you the exact date of when Bitcoin is going to hit 16,000. Nonsense. Now, today they did come out with a video, and they are talking 5,400 in the correction. So I posted on there, I said, what happened to all your predictions about 16,000 that you've been making for the last month? But I also mentioned that I was glad to see that they finally did come to their senses. So the next one that's coming up that's going to make me laugh is the halving. Now, you would think that after the CME nosedive, after the ETF nosedive, after the BAKKT nosedive that we're watching right now, people would learn their lesson and kind of get a clue that when this halving comes along, that it's going to take a nosedive. Simply because everybody thinks that the halving is going to cause the price to explode. And that's when the whales come in and they wreck everybody and take advantage of conventional wisdom. All right, so that's kind of cool. Now let's jump over to the Bitcoin chart that I have been using. Let's just jump to the 1 day real quick. This is what I've had on my TradingView account for a long time, okay, with my magic fib circles. I call them magic whenever they coincide with major movements and pivots, or whenever they crawl along a line like you see it crawling here, it sticks to that line. I call that fib circle set magical, and I base my fib circle sets on actual time periods of a swing channel, like from here to here, from here to here. So it actually has some bit of mathematical scientific sense to it. Okay, so I had this extra channel up here that I added to this one because I didn't want to modify this. I still wanted to see how well we did with this first yellow trading channel. So while everybody was out there running their yip yap, saying that we were forming a triangle and coming to the wedge point and we're going to blow up, I was saying, no, we are not. We are, in fact, still within the boundaries of an overall bearish trend. Now we can see that from this point all the way through. Wait a minute. Let's make that red. We want it red. Overall, bearish trend, especially after we saw the capitulation today. And that's not even a capitulation. It's really not going to capitulate. That means stop. Nothing's ever going to capitulate Bitcoin. It dumped. Okay, this dump is going to continue. All right, it's not done. So other people made the mistake of looking at this formation in this manner. And then my answer to that is flat bottom triangle. That's what I called it, a descending triangle. even if it was an ascending triangle, in my experience, ascending triangles, when you get to the point, at the end point, if you're in a bearish trend, they break to the downside. And so that's what we saw right there. Now I can say, I told you so. I told you. I said it last week. I said it yesterday, as a matter of fact, that we were going to have a major movement on Bitcoin. And we were coming to that point that we would see a major pivot if we broke the price of 91.70. Read it in my Trading View post. It's right there on the last idea. You can see the date. Hit the play button. In fact, we'll even look at that. Let's just look at it. So let's turn off drawing. Let's go to my account. Look at that. I've got 95 followers. More of you people need to follow me. I need more followers. All right, so here was the post. Where are the BAKKT breakout moon boys now, and what's next? All right, so let's take a look. Here's my chart. And as you can see, I called this when we were within the limits, the boundaries of the upper light purple trading channel. And I said, since we've been bouncing around in this trading channel, if we touch the bottom of it, we're going to fall. And then if we go below 91.70, we're going to fall hard. So this was my post, okay? That was my warning. Now let's press the play button. Boom, as John Madden would say. What you have here, what we had here, we hit the bottom of that channel, and then boom, we had the big drop. All right, so moving right along. Let's go back to the chart. Here's BTC, the blue line. No, we want the details, the candles. All right, let's move down to the 4 hour and get a closer look. Okay, zooming back, looking at the purple fib set, we had a lot of action on the purple set where we crawled up the line here. We definitely followed all the way up to the top here, bounced around. We went above the purple trading channel, but then we bounced at the bottom. Pivot point here on the 3.618, back to the top of the channel. And then here's the first magical point, the 4.618. Right when we got close to that line, we dumped, but then it popped back up. So then this little action took place here. I need to make a new fib circle set, because if we can find a set, if we look at another channel, which I don't think we have enough data, once we find a new fib circle set, if it coincides with this dump, it's going to tell us where we're going to go from this point. And then I'm going to have to extend this parallel trading channel, because here's what I've been saying. We are, and I'm going to do this live. The next time you come to my Trading View, you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to extend. Okay, I'm extending the wrong one. We're going to end this one here. We're going to leave that like it is and go to the yellow. Here is our yellow. And we're going to pull it out further, because I believe that we're going to stay within this trading channel and that it's going to find us a nice little bottom point. So now that we have extended that, let's zoom out and scrunch down. Okay? And I was saying this months ago that we needed to look out for a former magical fib circle line that I called the big blue 2.618. Look back on my ideas. I told you all about this when I constructed this set way back when. And it's still in play. All right, so on the 1.618 of the big blue, we see the rise happen where we crossed between that and the 2.618 of the dark blue. So 1.618, 2.618 is showing significance, and then here we are, as I said, coming up on the doggone, is that the 3.618? Yeah, the 3.618. No, I'm sorry, the 2.618. Losing my mind. There it is right there. So this is going to give us a clue as to the bottom. Come back to this in 3 months. Watch what happens. Okay, let's draw on here. Let me tell you what is possible. This is what's possible. We could have a really strong recovery here, and then we're going to have movement like this. All right. And what could happen is we could stay within this channel, But eventually, we're going to find this line. We're going to find that fib circle line, the magic line, the 2.618. Let's turn drawing off. We need to extend this line a little bit more because it doesn't cross that line. There we go. Now we have a cross, and who knows, 54.80. That could be the bottom point. And if it's not, let me tell you what else is possible. And you can go to my other videos. I said, is there a case for 3,100 Bitcoin or 2,800? And I covered this in the previous video, and I even talked about some of these boundaries that we have right now. These are the same sets. I haven't changed anything, okay? So if we hit this point and we don't crawl up the line all the way to this halfway point and start a new bull market, we're going to find the next one. We're going to be headed towards the 3.618, and we could extend this channel, or it could just dive straight down. And this is where, yeah, you got a case for 4,400. And then if we violate here, that's where the case for 2,800 comes in. But that's the least likely scenario. I think we're going to trade within here, bounce off this line, come up. But we'll see. Won't be surprised if something else happens. Well, anyway, that's all I wanted to cover today. I just wanted to say I told you so to all the dangalangs out there who've been talking their nonstop bull market yip yap garbage, making people FOMO into the market. And these same folks who have FOMO'd in, I feel sorry for them. Don't listen to people. Listen to me. Listen to somebody who's being negative, because when you listen to people that are bearish and cautious and negative about the market, you have the least chance of getting wrecked. That's right. All right, so this has been Carlton Flowers, the Crypto Pro, bringing you the magic fib circle sets that have the complete gravitational attraction power that lets us know where the market's going to go. So we're going to play with the magical fib circle lines again very soon when I do a video that focuses specifically on XRP. Thanks for hanging in there. If you listen to this whole thing, the full 27 minutes, wow, I've been talking for quite some time, then you get a trophy. Post a comment if you made it to the end, and if you want to like the video, you can. I won't badger you to do it, but I would ask you to subscribe and comment so we can discuss these things and ask me any questions that you would like, and I'll answer it with a video. That's all I got. See you next time.